This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sophia Yvette.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a wedding photographer? Well, one may be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbors, Rachel and Danny Duran with Forget Me Not Pictures. Hi, how are you guys doing today?
Hey, we're doing great. How about yourself?
Great. Now, we are so excited to learn all about you and your business. Can you please start off by telling us just a little bit about your company?
Well, we're a husband and wife team. Our main focus is weddings. We love doing weddings together. Rachel usually goes with the bride, and I'll go with the groom. And we like giving the couples full coverage for their day. So you get to see both sides of the story and different angles. And we also kind of give different creative spins on how we shoot. And so it's really fun to get us because you get, two of us.
Yeah.
Why is understanding both sides so important to you guys?
Well, and when we go home and we look at our photos, I see Danny's pictures and images, and they're from a completely different angle, from a totally different perspective. And that's neat because my images will be a little bit different. So that's really important to having the benefit of two photographers is you get 2 points of views throughout the whole entire day.
And weddings are so eventful, so many things happen throughout the day that I think is meaningful. And so while the groom's getting ready with his best man or his dad's buttoning up his jacket or his tie, the bride could be having her dress being zipped up by mom or her, bridesmaids, they're doing a toast. And so you don't want to miss those moments. And so it's nice to have two of us because, like I said, you'll get double the coverage. And so I'll be capturing what's going on with the groom. She'll be capturing what's going on with the bride. And then also with the ceremony, it's better to have two angles because you don't want to just, see back of somebody's head. So it's nice to be able to get the bride going down the aisle, the bride coming up the aisle, the groom's reaction to the bride walking down. I think every bride wants to see her groom cry as she's approaching him. And so that's great that we can provide that. We can show her coming down and show a close-up of his face as he's tearing up, seeing his bride for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of looking back, let's go back in time for a second. How did you both get started in this business as a husband and wife company?
Well, I guess we both had our own photography companies before we met and before we got married. So when we got together, and ideally it was just natural to merge both of our companies as one. And that's how we came with Forget Me Not Pictures. And we just worked so well together that it just, it blossomed. And it's been a great working environment, working with my husband. And we mesh really well together.
Yeah, like you said, we both had our own. She was Rachel Eubanks Photography, and I was Danny Duran Photography. And so, we wanted to create something that we can scale. We hopefully one day we're managing our company and sending out other photographers, or, we have other employees working for us. And so when you have a company that's named after your own name, you have to be the one that shows up. And so we wanted to create something more, create a company that we can grow and make larger and hopefully maybe even pass on to our kids one day. And so, we decided to go full LLC and create this company together.
Well, hey, legacy is the key. Now, when you did come together, what was that most common myth or misconception you notice you come across on the day-to-day since your companies merged?
Myth or misconception? Well, I've come to find that a lot of people think that the most expensive, the most high-end dollar photography is the best bang for your buck. And really, what we found is we like to make connections with our bride and groom and with the family, and that's what's most important to us. So we don't need to charge $10,000 to do that. And showing up to a wedding day, it's really important to us. And a lot of people think that photographers just clock in and clock out, take a few pictures, and we're done. But when we show up, and we're ready to problem solve, and we're ready, to feel like family at the end of the day. So as we've built our company, especially being husband and wife, we already bring a connection and family to every wedding that we go to, because it's almost like we're reliving our wedding each time we do one. It's always fun to be able to, go to a wedding with your partner, let alone work a wedding with your partner. So yeah, that's been fun.
Mhm. Now, speaking of connections, we know marketing is the heart of every business. So, who are some of your target customers or audience? And in terms of marketing today, how do you attract them?
Well, we are listed on, the first major thing I think that helped us was, creating a website and making sure it's registered with Google. And we have our Google business page, and we're listed on, Google Maps and everything. And so um, Google's has been really good for us, and we've ran ads on that. And then, of course, social media, Facebook, Instagram, we run ads on there and have those pages set up. And our target audience has been pretty broad because we've had, what are they called? Sunset weddings? Like when, we've had, young couples who are fresh out of college, and we've
Micro
had,
weddings to
we've
full
had,
grand weddings.
older couples who, this is their second time around, or this is their first time, they found love later in life, or what have you. So our audience can be anywhere, I would say, between, I don't know, 25 to 60.
Mm-hmm.
And
we also market on Zola, and
yeah.
we just signed on with the Knot this month. So we've been with Zola for the past year. We probably got maybe about 40% of our clients in 2025 was from Zola bookings. So we decided to go the extra step this coming 2026 and go with the Knot as well. So hopefully that's going to turn out great for us. So keeping our fingers crossed there.
Well,
Yeah.
wishing you guys the best there. Now, have you guys ever thought about having your own podcast?
Yes, we have, and we're so glad we're getting practice right now. Yeah, we talked about it, talked about some ideas.
We meet so many wedding vendors, and we go to so many venues, and every time we walk through a venue, we're just like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is amazing. And it's so funny because we had our wedding 2 years ago. We just celebrated our anniversary last month. And so it's just, oh man, we should have done this at our wedding. Oh, we should have done this at this would have been a great venue. And so I don't know, we talked about doing a podcast talking about weddings and different venues.
And having that said, on the flip side, the fun part is also the drama behind the scenes, especially in the bridal suite. And there's the good, bad, and the ugly, but I thought it would also be kind of fun to divulge into, some funny stories we come across in the 10 years plus, we've been doing weddings. We've got some good stories under our belt for sure. We would love to share.
What is your favorite story? If you wanted to just give us a quick overview.
I'm trying to think of one that's appropriate. That doesn't call anybody out. So I think here's one that comes to mind. So we were at a wedding. It was during the reception, and it was it wasn't hot outside, but it wasn't cool. But the dance floor, everybody dancing around, it gets really hot, obviously. Well, the coordinator of the day, they left, and they didn't. The AC was on auto, and it turned off, so the AC stopped working the last few hours. Well, it started cooking really bad.
Yeah.
Some of the guests ended up, so the AC unit had a gate or a lock on it. So some of the wedding guests were literally taking forks and knives, trying to jimmy the lock open on the AC so they could turn the AC back on. But we're just, we're over here sweating, but we're also, taking pictures. It was a funny moment. The bride was miserable because she was sweating under her dress, but at the end of the day, the vendor ended up coming back last minute, turning the AC on. So funny little things like that. So a little side note to vendors, make sure that you always leave the AC running before you leave.
A more romantic story I have, this groom, he was doing a first look with his bride, and say, no, a first look is before the ceremony. The bride will have a little special moment with the groom. And so I thought this was a really great moment because the groom went to the pizza parlor, got a slice of pizza of pineapple, and it was a Hawaiian pizza, so it's Canadian bacon and pineapple. And he hates that pizza, but his bride, when they went on the first date, tried to convince him, hey, this is the best kind of pizza. So he went and got that pizza for her. They did their first look, and then he like surprised her with the box of pizza and just like, hey, here's your favorite slice. And so they got to share a slice right before their little wedding. And I thought that was just so sweet how he got the same first slice of pizza as they had on their first date right before their wedding.
Super cute. And I didn't get to see that. So on our car ride home, he's like, hey, did I tell you about the pizza? I was like, what's the pizza? I was like, oh my God, that's a cute story. But yeah, little fun things like that.
Well, guys, I am so sorry. We're basically out of time today, but our listeners need to know, where can they go to learn more about Forget Me Not Pictures?
You can go to forgetmenotpictures.net, and you can look us up on Google Maps. We have a co-working space that we shoot at in South Fort Worth, Texas. So look up Forget Me Not Pictures. And also on social media, our social media is
Forget Me Not Pictures as well, with Instagram and Facebook. And I just started a TikTok about 3 weeks ago. So you can follow me on TikTok as well with Rachel with Forget Me Not Pictures.
Well, Rachel and Danny, I really appreciate you both being on the show today. We wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfrisco.com. That's gnpfrisco.com, or call 469-221-9345.